Morning, everybody. I'll do a quick video. Yeah, they lied. Now what? I I ran across this dude, pretty good channel, and I think I'll show him. This is the one I just watched, and I don't see any reason to go ahead and play it.
Hi everyone, how are you today? I hope you are always healthy. Welcome back to my channel. Like always, today I'm going to discuss some topic that will make you wonder about the advanced technology of the past. I got this on various Telegram channels. Please check the description to know more about the channels. Some might say that I'm being repetitive by discussing this, but that's the whole point. This is proof that a small occult elite of the history to fit their narrative. Anyway, I also have a Telegram channel. There, I will share various information that I cannot share here. Don't forget to subscribe to my backup YouTube channel. The link is also in the description box below. So, without further ado, fasten your pants and let's get started.
Now I've noticed in all of his videos, he says that. He says the same thing. Yeah, fasten your pants. I was like, okay. But that's his deal. That's his gig.
The Italian pyramid of Bomarzo can be considered an uncomfortable find. The megalithic structure was discovered back in 1911. Of course, it was not explored. In 2008, the pyramid was rediscovered by local resident Salvador Fasci. It was cleaned by ordinary enthusiasts, but archaeologists and historians never showed attention to it. The reason is simple: it is not clear in what historical epoch to put it. In fact, the history of the Roman Empire is painted literally on months, and about a pyramid, there is not a word. By its design and form, the find does not fit into the generally accepted ancient history of Italy. It was decided to attribute the megalith to the Etruscan era and call it by the traditionally vague universal term, altar. A very interesting find. We don't plan to study it, of course. Dwarves, fairies, and subterranean dwarfs are not fairy tales. Stories about gnomes, fairies, and subterranean dwarfs are nowadays perceived as fairy tales. Although until the 18th century, it was not surprising to travelers and local peoples that creatures of small stature lived near them. The settlement of Skara was dug up in Scotland after a hurricane in the 1920s. The settlement was founded before 3100 BC and had existed for about 600 years. The stone walls, beds, ceilings, and doorways were designed for occupants up to 1 meter tall. In size, the people copied Egyptian, Italian, and Slavic dwarfs, and in Britain itself, dwarves, elves, fairies, and leprechauns make up a huge part of the cultural heritage. And now the archaeological part as well. Before I continue the video, please give a like if you'd learned something. And don't forget to subscribe, and also click the notification bell too, so you won't miss any update. And watch to the end to avoid misunderstanding. Thank you. Mohenjo-Daro, Pakistan. For many decades, archaeologists have been concerned with the mystery of the city's demise. In 1922, the Indian archaeologist R. Banerjee discovered ancient ruins on one of the islands of the Indus River. Even then, questions arose. How was this great city destroyed? Where did its inhabitants go? The excavations gave no answer to any of them. The withholding of artifacts by official history. In the last few centuries alone, a huge variety of artifacts of all kinds have been found around the world, some of which, to a greater or lesser extent, cast doubt on official history. At the same time, almost all of these artifacts lie in museums. Many of them, by the way, have not even been studied. Some finds simply disappeared after being sent to laboratories and for other research. And you can also wonder how many artifacts could disappear without any mention in the media and the internet. After all, many studies and excavations are not really mentioned to the public. From all this, it is possible to draw one more than obvious and logical conclusion. The official history hides many findings on purpose, as they can change a lot. Although even now there are enough findings to somehow change the approach to the history and the past, but it really does not interest any of the official representatives. Chinese mirrors. These ancient mysterious bronze mirrors are called Chinese mirrors, although they were found in Japan and Russia. One side of them is absolutely smooth, and on the other side there are various drawings and ornaments. These mirrors are well known to artifact lovers, but few know that they have an incredible property. If their smooth side to send a ray of light, then the picture is reflected, which is applied on the reverse side. That is, these mirrors completely violate the laws of optics. At the same time, the reflection becomes three-dimensional. That is, it is a kind of 3D cinema of ancient times. It is still unknown how the ancient masters were able to achieve this effect. Kailash Temple in India. The ancient temple of Kailas in Alara was carved into the rock stone by stone. According to mainstream history, of course it was made by hand. The dimensions of the courtyard are 82 by 46 meters at the base and 30 meters high. The structure is a freestanding tiered temple complex of 2,000 square meters. According to his story, it took the Hindus of the Rashtrakuta Empire 20 years to build the temple, processing 200,000 tons of rock. This means that 27 tons of rock must be processed per day. In addition to this temple, 33 rock sculptures are carved into the same rock. How miraculously, centuries ago, did mankind manage to build such gigantic structures without the technology known today? In April 1561, a strange celestial phenomenon was recorded at dawn in Nuremberg. Witnesses noted hundreds of spheres, cylinders, and other strange objects moving chaotically in the sky. People described it as an aerial battle. This was followed by the appearance of a large black triangular object, and then its crash outside the city. What could it have been if mankind didn't have any flying machines at the time? A more intelligent life form. This fact is officially documented. The documents are in Switzerland, the city of Zurich. What do you think about this video?
So there's that, right? And we've said it before. You know, hey, Alan. Hey, Ashley. Morning, everybody. But yeah, I've said it a million times if I've said it once. They lied. They lied. They always lie. But I'd always got that sense also about archaeology. There's the link in the chat if anybody wanted to come on. But I remember I always had a sense about archaeology of, they find this stuff and they look at it and they make up a story. Where do they get this story from? Well, geez, now you know how much stuff did we not even know about? How many things have they found and covered up? How many things have they found that regular people found it and you know nothing comes of it? Like you said, they rediscover this pyramid out in the middle, of the jungle, and well, we're gonna look at it. We got other things to look at. I just our history. Wow. And there's Ashley. Good morning, Ashley.
Long brother
Good morning.
Sherman.
Good morning, sunshine.
How you doing, man? Been a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
I've needed a Tommy fix. You know,
I've been on the mend. I've been on the run, and now I'm
been on
just
the run. What'd you do? You finally decided to stand up for your rights and go against some policy enforcers.
yeah. My mom and dad,
Your mom
policy enforcers, trying,
That's great.
trying to give them some peace of mind at the end of their life, and they don't want it
Yeah,
at
well,
all.
the truth hurts, but truth is love. Truth is love, but it hurts sometimes at
Right.
first.
So, how have you been, young lady?
Oh, Thunder and Frog Hair, man, you were right on a subject that I've been in all flipping morning. Well, actually, past 2 weeks, but really this morning, I got this book called The Gods Machines, and it talks about all like Stonehenge and the pyramids and crop circles, and it links all of them together, showing. And I just found out the other day, and that ley lines and earth energy grid lines are two different things. The ley lines are the buildings and the structures on the earth that
Right.
go from one place to the other, but earth energy lines are what I'm more interested in. I understand, like these buildings, yes, they're placed on these points, but these earth energy lines, they're connected to the stars, and I know it, and like this is what they're digging into. And then kind of find out the tokamak that I've been researching into for the past few years, but mainly here lately, it is actually a nuclear reactor. And because it creates plasma inside
Right.
of it, and that's what our sun feeds off of, is plasma. It's
Right.
very interesting stuff. But all these buildings that are
Okay.
placed exactly where they're at, they are connected with the stars, like where they're placed, every
Some
one of them.
something's going on.
Right, right. I really
Whether
think that it's bringing in this artificial intelligence. They have all these years worked it up and worked it up until now. The old technology, the ancient technology, and the technology of today are working together as one to keep this artificial intelligence thing going. And we've been thinking a lot, I've been talking a lot about like fallen angels, and Jason was like, you know how you see ones with like Tourette's and stuff, and he's like, I'm wondering if that's the angel that cannot, the angels that can't take over the body completely
right.
yet,
Going on.
right? So they've got some like, issues. They manifest some kind of weird tick, and there are a lot of things. But the reason why they have to have these vessels, the
Right.
artificial intelligent vessels,
Okay.
to come into while they're here on earth, in Revelation, what is it, 12, Satan and his angels, the dragon and his angels, and Michael and his angels fought. Satan was kicked out of heaven, and his angels, they were kicked out of heaven and they were kicked down to earth. And it says, and when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, and the Lord says, in here, rejoice, you heavens, because Satan and the dragon and his angels are no longer up there.
Right.
Rejoice, but woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath.
What
right?
did he
Well,
do?
he couldn't inhabit the people. So all these years they've been getting all this stuff together with this technology, right? And now they have these artificial intelligence things walking around, or just the cell phone that we carry around on us now. We're bonded to it. It's just been interesting, with the buildings itself.
Uh,
And then what you and Alan's really been touching on some things here lately as well.
uh,
And then Jays of Noah. Oh my goodness. I asked him this morning,
uh,
can I use some of his clips? Because he's just like amazing. He is on point, son. That ninja's on point.
yeah.
Praise Jesus, got the Holy Spirit in him.
Well, I mean, for me, they've been telling us forever through these forums that they do, like Noah, Days of Noah shows, that they've been having these conferences, they've been having these things my whole life. And they talk about it openly in those, and they're available to watch over the years. And nobody watched them. And the ones who did watch them either were for it or didn't think it was a
They
big
don't
deal.
hear it.
Yeah, they
They
don't
don't
hear.
hear the double talk. They don't hear it.
So they've been telling us forever, and we're just now waking up. There's people out there that watch Days of Noah and go, yeah, whatever, click, turn it off. Yeah, that's stupid. But those of us who understand, we're going, yeah, man, they've been doing this to us for a long time,
Right,
long time.
right.
Like I just hit it up again. Oh, Galen Windsor. You know that name, Galen Windsor.
Uh-uh.
He's the dude on nuclear. He's the guy. He's the guy that drank in the water, swam in the raw pools of nuclear waste. He proved that nuclear power plants, as they build them, are just excuses for to make trouble in the future. He was there at 3 Mile
Say his
Island.
name again.
Galen
Galen what?
Windsor.
Windsor.
Windsor. But he's got
Interesting.
there's a 2 hour video of him talking about all this, and the government is just he's the man. He's the man. And
Oh, good. It looks like it. So, what year was this? It looks old.
in
It
the
looks old.
70s, 80s, he
Oh,
came out.
sweet.
70s and 80s, he came out going, they're lying to you. He says in this video, he says every community should have a nuclear reactor that would just power that community. It's safe, it's easy, it's cheap. He says this whole power plant, the way they do these huge nuclear plants, that's crazy. No reason to do that. Every community could have its own little reactor, free energy. It wouldn't cost nothing.
Yeah, man.
And this is the guy that's the top authority. He was born in the nuclear deal with these people, so he was hands-on. He got taught. He learned right there from the beginning on nuclear facilities. And then when he comes out going, you guys, this is messed up, they're like, Galen, shut up. Hush. No, Galen, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And they started making all the nuclear regulations, and he's going, that's crazy. That doesn't mean those numbers mean nothing. That's just not true. None of it works. It's just a rule. And he takes plutonium, bro, eats some of it. He's like, there's no such thing as nuclear radiation. He says there are spectrums in the light that are very dangerous and are radioactive. But this stuff isn't. This isn't. He tells them straight out. They did that 3 Mile Island deal. They did that on purpose. They just needed they needed a scenario, problem, solution, reaction. And they needed that problem. And he said in the end product of 3 Mile Island, him and another guy got an hour to go in the control room and stuff. And he said they were so afraid that we were going to start it back up because we knew it wasn't broke. We knew there wasn't a meltdown. We knew there was nothing wrong. They had just poured cold water onto the fuel rods, made huge pressure, blew a few valves, and that's all they did. He's like, we could have started it back up and they couldn't have stopped us. And so, I mean, you see stuff like that, Galen Windsor. And then you see the tech, this is free energy. These buildings are coupled, just like the power plants around the state of Texas. When they're running on 60 hertz, everybody's coupled. Why wouldn't these buildings do the same thing?
Mhm. Mhm.
coupled by
Mhm.
frequency.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Reason they
Oh yeah.
think they're not.
No doubt. Oh, one cat I was watching, man, because I'm fixing it really, it's whenever the Holy Spirit's ready for me to do it. Like I have all these clips from Jordy Rose and Ben Gortzel, who is the main guy that half people don't even know who he is, but he's the weird guy that's normally with Sophia Artificial Intelligence that wears the odd hat, dresses like a hippie, got long hair with glasses. He's the cat, okay, and him and Elon Musk. Not much on Elon Musk. Like I'm not really focusing. Like he's different. But these two, Jordy Rose and Ben Gortzel, I'll tell you what, I have
Right.
caught these guys in clips over and over, double talking. Oh, dude. Caught flipping Jordy Rose. He was on the Kev Baker show, which was the strangest thing ever. It was probably a flipping psyop, that show. But either way, I digress. So either way, he was on there and he was saying some stuff, right? And Kev goes, "See, that's why I think your machine caused the Mandela effect." And he goes, Jordy Rose goes, no, I think the Mandela effect is just everybody misremembering. But here's his double talk here. But it is kind of strange that we have pieces of history missing.
No.
What? You got double talk, bro. Like, what do
Right.
you? Okay, so
Yeah.
so you're saying just people misremembering, but it is strange that we have history missing. Man, your
And
machine freaking did that.
right.
Like it is demonic. Either way, yeah, yeah, it's
No, I hear
crazy
you.
the double talk.
Yeah, these guys. If I can't believe you hadn't already heard of Galen Windsor. Galen
I
Windsor.
haven't.
Yeah, and it's out there. That's another of those things I'm talking about. This information has been out there to the public, and people just don't care. For
Mm-mm.
whatever reason, they've got our cognitive dissonance in just the right way that we don't. Not enough people even care about that. I mean, think about that. You could have a safe, free energy system in your neighborhood, a nuclear powered system, safe, effective, works great for nothing. It'd be free or cheap as anything, $20 a month for every person in town, and you
Mm,
have no electric bills, right? That's your electric bill, $20. It's real. It could be that way, but they won't let it
mm,
be. They will not let it be. And the
mm,
whole nuclear regulation, the dude, if you haven't seen this video, he actually says the whole drums and poured concrete and thrown in the ocean or buried in these mountains is just so the mob can get rid of bodies. That's what he says in the video. I mean, he
yeah.
says straight up, that's what those
Just
drums are
let it get rid
for.
of it.
He says the stuff in those drums, if it is that water, isn't dangerous. It's not going to take 2,000 years. He said
Yeah.
that's just uh, unclaimed spent fuel. We can reuse it. We can take it. He says there's no problem. So you got what's that Galen Windsor?
Yeah.
He's
Oh no, I got him on point. I got him on cue
blows the
because
whole kid off
it
of
sounds like that he's going to be very
nobody.
it's going to be very helpful to what I'm studying in for sure. Did
Right,
you
this
look at that little 5-minute video that I sent you? I thought it was very interesting. The difference between the guys said daylight or and sunlight. He thought that he believes it's possible they're two different things,
oh, they're
and
two different
he's
frequencies. They're totally two different frequencies. They're different frequencies, light
Well,
and
he was talking. He brings up because get this, okay? You see my obsession with Ukraine is because they produce the largest amount of neon gas for the whole world. Like they do like 70% of neon gas for the whole world. Okay, and so neon gas is actually this guy brings it up in the video that the little 5-minute clip. He brings it up about how neon gas is like it's part of the color that we see in the daylight when the daylight is there, that we're seeing these gases. And he brings up the other gases. There's like 3 or 4 of them
right,
that cause this neon color,
right.
and I just think it's very interesting, you know
Very, yeah, they
because it bends with magnetism. He shows in that video, I'm sorry, but he shows in that video that it bends with magnetism. When you have it in a glass, tube, these gases, you take a magnet and bring it up over it. and
move.
it bends, it moves. Right, right.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. And you think of the toroidal field of the electromagnetic field of the Earth, and I've always understood that the sky was blue because helium or our very lightest, if it's helium, that's its color and concentration from what they tell us, right? I mean, and there's Alan.
I have a great thing from last night. I think I figured out that Russia is going after Antarctica, or the Arctic.
You're going to get my channel taken down, dude.
They're going after the Arctic, and they're going to declare those treaties null and void, and they're going to occupy it because there is something to this climate change, and now things have been revealed in Arctic that they want.
That's very interesting. Yeah, yeah. I just started looking into Bill Gates this morning because he's all about that climate change. He's one of the billionaires that funds the nuclear reactor, the tokamak. He's got a new one being built in Massachusetts that'll be done in like 35.
I'm not afraid of any of that. I lived through acid
Hey,
rain, man.
we have not been given a spirit of fear, but of a sound mind. But you lived through what? Acid rain? Is that what you said?
How do you live through acid rain and come out the other side afraid of anything?
Yeah.
We walked in it every day. It rained, acid rain all through the 80s, man. We were. What do you say? Are we mutants now? Because they told us all the time there's acid rain. They told us.
Oh man, but they were telling you truth, right?
Think about that. Think about that. That literally, they told us there was raining acid on us.
I'm listening to you guys upstairs.
And the only answer to that was charge you more money for your car that we tell you now puts out less emissions that causes that. So we got acid rain on you. You're going to be okay, but we're going to charge you some more money to fix that. And you never hear what happened to acid rain. I seriously, I'm asking a question. What happened?
Yeah, I've never heard of that before in my life.
Did we do so good at our environmental cleanup that there's no more acid rain now?
Or was it a lie from the pit of hell?
In the 80s, the acid rain?
I've never heard of no acid rain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're looking at living proof, man. I lived through the acid rain era. I'm a veteran of the acid rain era.
Oh my goodness. Acid rain, man. Yes, man. I'm so glad to meet you, brother. I'm so glad to know you. Honored.
Nice to meet you too, Missy. I'm just glad that I made it this far. They'll look back just in my lifetime, all the things they've come out and told us is going to kill us. Stuff they said it's going to kill you. So come to your doctor and I'm going to give you something so it won't kill you. But then later on, it make you real sick, not feel good. But they're like, hey, but it didn't kill you.
Yeah.
That's what I love about their programs. Hey, if you had none, you would have died. But you didn't die. I mean, you don't feel so good. Everything's, system's kind of messed up, but you didn't die.
Yeah.
I kept you safe.
You just got a little tick. It's okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Oh my gosh, it's so messed up.
Isn't it? Oh, all of a sudden, right? In my generation, little kids coming up behind us. My generation, little kids start coming up behind us, and I remember I was probably in junior high. First time I heard somebody had like a peanut allergy, and that was the biggest joke. It's like, what? Allergic to peanuts, right? Whatever. Little did we know that was just the beginning. Just the beginning. By the time I was out of high school, it was these allergies and these little kids. It was all elementary school. It was all the small kids. It wasn't anybody in high school. It wasn't junior high. It was the elementary kids. And all of a sudden, these little fuckers, they were dropping right and left from, birthday cake and stuff, from cupcakes, and you're going, why is it? And nobody's really, what? Oh, well, that's no big deal, It happened, Oh, autism. Oh, well, that's, that happens. It's it's no big deal. Now it's the norm. It used to be the rare, and now it's the norm. Think about that.
Right.
Just in our lifetime. Just in our lifetime. Autism
Right.
used to
Right.
be
Oh,
there.
oh, it's normal now. Oh, the diabetes, man. That's the one that I'm seeing hit. Like it was like you'd see it in older folks and stuff, but I've worked around them a lot, so I'd see it.
Right.
But dude, out of nowhere, just in the 10 years, and it's probably less than that, man. 10 years, left and right babies, 5-year-old, 8-year-old babies saying having freaking diabetes. Where is this coming from? Well, xanthan gum, that's one of them.
We know where it's coming from. From the piss poor food they've genetically modified.
Right.
The pharmaceuticals, the petroleum poison they've produced for us for our safety and our health. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, government. Thank you, academia, for producing all this petroleum products for my safety.
Right. Thank you. Right.
It's nice.
For my safety, for my health.
Right.
It is
What would I have done? I would without them. I mean, think about it. Without their stuff, I wouldn't have made it. Without their pharmaceuticals, I wouldn't have had shingles if it hadn't been for them. Thank you guys. Thank y'all. Y'all helped me right along with that. Appreciate it.
appreciate it.
But when you're age range 50 to 55, once you turn 50, becomes an ad campaign. Once your group is a part of a whole marketing campaign of, if you're 50 to 55, have you gotten your vaccine for the shingles? Have you gotten it? And it's like all of a sudden, it's why us? We're the only ones 50 to 55. Really? Right. How do you know that? What'd y'all do to me?
How do they know that? Right? Because you're feeding it to us?
Yeah, they're like, look, we didn't really do it on purpose. Here's another one that'll help that. It's not going to stop that. It may make it worse. It may not. You may get a whole new side effect from it. But look, we're helping you. It's for your safety. Take it. Here. That's the first thing they said to me at my doctor's. Oh, you need to get the vaccine. No. Why would I do that? I've got it. It's here now. I mean, from what I understand, we're going to work together from here on. It shouldn't bother me. It shouldn't bother me anymore. But you giving me something, some of your petroleum, I don't know about that.
Petroleum.
I don't want your petroleum.
That's interesting. Thank you for that reminder, right? Because petroleum has been flipping everything.
That's all it is. Our world is a petroleum byproduct.
See, I started going, toward the gas, looking into the gas and stuff and the pipelines and whatnot. But then it was like a total switch. As soon as I found that neon gas, it was like a total switch of artificial intelligence, going from the gas pipelines and because that's really what everybody's focusing on. That's what everybody's seeing, the gas price, prices and stuff going down. But I think about the petroleum now that you're talking about it, not as gas for our cars and stuff, but in the products itself. It's
an entity. Think about petroleum is an evil byproduct of the earth, I believe, because if you think about how they forced it in use, and that our world was saturated with it when there were alternatives. There were alternatives to it, but those alternatives were negated, and petroleum was forced in so many different things. I don't care whether it's clothing, whether it's plastics or whatever. There was hemp. It's better than plastic, and it's natural. It's just when they shove the poison down it, the petroleum poison, and that's all we know now. all we know
Yeah,
now.
it
We
is
don't,
all we know.
we don't actually know probably everything that it's in. You know,
Interesting, right? You know, I don't like using, I still use their dish detergent and their laundry detergent, but I've gotten to when I wash myself or my hair, I've quit using anything that, I mean, if I don't have nothing else, I'll wash it with flipping apple cider vinegar and baking soda. You know what
right,
I'm saying? Because I don't want their stuff. But
right.
I've never thought about the petroleum. That
All
is
petroleum.
so
That's all it is. They've got us into this cognitive dissonance where we don't even think about it as
no, man.
petroleum. You don't think about this cup as petroleum, but that's all it is. That's all it is. and and the rest of our lives, think about it. That's what they forced it
Fed.
on us.
We've
They
flipping
forced
been fed it constantly. No wonder. Uh, um, our friend, the guy that we go to his church, his house, and on Sunday mornings, he was talking about this guy that he watches, and he said that the guy will go to colleges and he'll set his little table up at the college, in front of it, and he'll stop the college students and ask them simple questions.
right,
He'll have one. Well, actually, it'll be one question that'll be up on the board, and the last question he said, what what was one of the questions? It had to do with gender. It
right.
had to do with male and
You talking
female,
about
but he went
Steven
into a
Crowder?
scientific level. He went into a scientific level. Not one of them could sit down and talk to him in a logical way. He was bringing up points left and right, but the reason I'm bringing it, he said there was no thought process. He said they couldn't even think, of
No,
how to answer me. I'm
right,
asking them things that they should have learned in biology years ago, and instead they're no. So even biology majors were having problems with what he was saying.
right.
Dude, there's a guy, an apologetics guy. He goes around with the abortion stuff, and he asks the abortion people questions, simple. They can't.
None
He
of them
asked,
can defend their positions.
right. They're fighting for something, but they have no connect. Like they're disconnected in their thoughts.
Well, think about
A
it this way.
double talk.
They're think about this. They're the extreme other end of a Christian that when you challenge them on something, they just say it's in the book, it's in the Bible or their Bible, science books, it's in there. And you go, well, tell me what it is. Like we could give you a verse. Okay, John 3:16. Yeah, they can't do that. They just say, it's in the book, it's fact. It's fact. It's in the book. I was in the class, the professor taught it, it's fact. So what do you do with that? They can't
Right.
they can't regurgitate it so much as they can look at it on paper and choose the best answer, right? They don't know anything. They can
Or,
just identify it in a group, what's most likely right, or they can multiple choice it, right? But they don't understand it. They don't know it. They can't break it down for you and start the process and then end the process. They just don't. They're not taught
well,
to think that way. They're taught to, if somebody's talking and they give you the right answer, you can identify that. But if they don't give you the right answers you think are right, they're always wrong. Because those people really don't know their own materials. The thing about, flat versus globe, none of those people understand or even the basics. And then when they get it pointed out to them, they're like, yeah, but I didn't major in that. No, they
right,
teach you this as a sophomore in high school, freshman, sophomore in high school in your science classes. But we're
right.
getting off the rails on that. It's just crazy. It's just nuts. I have to go this morning, 8:30, to the Chevy house because my antenna has come loose on my brand new truck.
Brand new truck, flipping antenna, come loose. Jeez Louise.
Yep.
What's going on here?
Brand new pickup.
Wow.
And you know what sucks is I'll take it up there at 8:30 or so, and they'll probably not touch it till noon because the girl didn't come right out and say it, but she kind of threw it in the edge of, let's make it 8:30 when you bring it in, and maybe you won't have to wait. Do you plan on waiting? Because it may be noon. And I just was like, okay, you're not gonna have it. So I may just pull up and wait till I see the FedEx truck pull up with parts on it.
You will. I'm sure you
That's,
will. You'll be there
that's what
30
they're
minutes
waiting
early
on.
and wait.
I am. That's what the deal is. This morning they're waiting on parts, to come in before they touch any vehicle. So why do I want to go there and sit or leave my vehicle for hours before FedEx even gets there?
Right. I think what you're
Like,
talking about makes perfect more sense than going up there and just wait.
I would rather bring it in later this afternoon, like 3 o'clock, and go, "Hey, did my part come in?" And they go, "Yeah, it sure did." And I'm gonna be like,
You know for sure it's in. Right.
"Yeah." So I'm gonna sit in that damn lobby for 2.5 hours, watching my truck back there, and nobody even gets near it. Nobody even walks near my truck. Have you ever had that happen to you? You take your vehicle
Yes.
back, you see it sitting over there, nobody even gets near it, and time goes
Yep.
by. And look at it. Okay, an hour's gone by. Well, hey, what's going on? Oh,
Be like a redheaded stepchild.
your car's next.
Right.
You're
Right.
next.
What we had to do on it's going to take a little more of this, and that guy can only work on it, so he had to wait for that car to be done. Yeah, always something. Yeah, it's just, man, I think everybody's out to get you, Tommy.
You think? I think so. Well, my brand new zero turn riding lawnmower just by last June when we got here. Fuel pump's out on it already. I gotta change the fuel pump, and I'm gonna change fuel filter today on it. Then get my mower going again. That's just painful. That's just painful. It's not even a year old. I've mowed a dozen or more times with it, maybe, but fuel
Yeah.
pump terrible.
Bless him. Poor Tommy. You're
I'm
so
just glad.
precious.
I know. I'm so glad my back's not hurting, so I can do this stuff.
Boom. And it gives you something to do. Why not?
I can fix this stuff. I have the technology.
Yeah. You got the brains for it.
But we,
I love you, brother.
We love you too. The petroleum is not your friend.
No. And you've given me a lot of things to research today.
Yeah, the petroleum poison is acid rain. Remember that? You're going to do acid rain. You've never heard of acid rain, really?
I haven't.
That's hard to believe, man. And it was before global warming.
Dude, let me tell you, those people we're talking about that are all disconnected and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was that till about 13 years ago. All right. I was that person that was completely disconnected, did not care to learn about anything. I had my life, family, I cooked dinner, I cleaned the house, I made sure my youngins had baths. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was my thought process on a daily basis. Now it's all to think about, wake up, think about they're terraforming the earth.
Don't obsess.
Oh, I love it. Hey, you know what? I would rather have these thoughts. Oh no, the word of God always goes in before any of it. But I always have these thoughts, you know what I mean? Like, I would rather have these than the ones I had back then. I spent so much of my childhood and my teenagehood and my adulthood not having any care of anything of wisdom, knowledge, of our holy creator, nothing, and now like it's become my addiction,
I think
and
you've done a good swap. When you swap those old, evil, destructive thoughts for new, productive, God-centric, it's amazing. It's amazing, Ashley. You've come a long way. I can't imagine just half of your experience. I had it so easy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Compared to the path you've walked, young lady, I am embarrassed.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm sure you've had some things go here. Disappear.
Nothing compared to you pick your worst day in your family or your worst week, and then I'll pick my worst week, and we'll see. You'll see I'm a real candy ass. I didn't have no rough times, man. The roughest time was the store was closed. I couldn't get a bicycle tube, man, for my bike. That was my rough. It was bullshit. Can't ride my bicycle because I can't get a new tube. Yeah, that was my roughness. How
First
about you?
world problem.
Yeah, I had the big stuff, big problems, big
Oh,
problems.
dude.
Not like you know, shoes, clothes, things like that, were your basic needs. I needed a new bicycle, man. My tire went
Shoes,
flat.
man, I'd go and steal those shoes and those clothes and
I know. I
I
just,
would.
I'm so
Such
humbled
a
that God, I
bold. You are precious, like to be able to, yeah, for sure. And then you enjoy listening to others' testimony.
oh, I love it. But I trust me, I took it to heart your pathway, and it's Christians like you that if you can see that side of humanity and turn to God and be like, this is easy call. This is an easy call, folks. When you've been through that kind of trauma and you can still see right from wrong, I love it. That's the Holy Spirit. That
Yeah.
fixes everything. Just fixes it.
You made my day, brother.
Well, you make mine all the time when you come
Thanks.
on here.
Oh,
I mean, what else would I do? Seven's over here whining. Kathy's about to head to work. These are the
oh.
fun mornings for us. I
Yep.
made
My
Kathy's
man is
coffee.
about to head to work.
You didn't even notice I made Kathy's coffee, did you?
No, don't you make it for her every morning?
Yeah, but I did it
That's
and you
right.
didn't. I did it like
Oh,
Houdini.
oh, dang,
You
son,
didn't.
I didn't even notice. I was so busy either jabbering my jaw or getting dressed myself. And I didn't even notice you being a good husband. You
You
making
didn't even
sure your
notice.
lady's got what she needs when she wakes up in the morning.
I make it look seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
try this
dude.
at home, folks.
Right. Right.
Don't try this at
Reproved. Reproved right there, brother.
home. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you go, sugar. I enjoyed it as usual.
Have a blessed day, man.
Jason, God bless. Peace. Good discernment, guys. Good vibrations. We
Bye.
love you all.
Love you.